Not everybody, they might have the little lines in the head or something like that.
Would you say it was desire to require? How did they get those lines?
I don't know.
I've seen those. I don't know what that is.
I guess the same thing as, I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, I'm ready to go, so let's go. Welcome to Rick's Corner. Today I've got two guests. I've got a man who's well known around the world and around the world and around the world and around the world.
For good and bad reasons.
For all kinds of good reasons, but he's a first class guy, got the first class body, and Arnold said he had one of the best bodies in bodybuilding, and I truly believe that. Plus he's a really nice guy and he's fun to talk to, and he's bald just like me. So it's my pleasure to have Flex Wheeler.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. And then from WFN Wellness Fitness Nutrition, I have Ahmed Dowd, who we stay in touch a lot, and he's part of the company, and he can answer.
Yeah, I'm amazed.
It's perfect.
I'm amazed, man.
On a horse, is it?
Nah, but I've fallen off before.
Yeah,
I just get right back on, brother, and just keep going.
Yeah.
All right, so I'd like to start with a couple of things. First of all, I read your bio that you're 5'3".
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that we talked about being part of Central California and growing up.
Right.
Is that where you started your training?
Yeah, I started working out. Actually, no. To be honest, I started in Oakland. My father and my mother, like most American families, that split up, and he was a coach in Oakland, so I wanted to go and live with him, and I wanted to play football because he was a football coach, track coach, and all that stuff. He was a stud, and so I went out for the football team, and they wouldn't allow me to continue playing because I was so small, so they made my dad be the one to give me the bad news. So I guess the high school, their insurance wouldn't cover me because I was too much of a high risk, because I was
I've never heard
so
that.
small. Yeah, so I was so small. So he said, son, why don't you just go in the weight room? So I spent the whole summer in the weight room. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And I continued playing sports, but I kind of enjoyed, training. And then later on, I met some local guys when I moved back to Fresno, Jeff Lawson and some other guys, and they said, hey, kid, you got great, got great talent, great symmetry. I'm like, symmetry? What do you call it?
Isn't that where the place people die when they're buried?
Yeah, I don't know. I really didn't know what the word meant. I'm like, what do you call me, black or poor? What does that mean?
Yeah.
Symmetry. So he explained it to me and kind of helped me out and everything like that, and got bit by the iron bug and never looked back.
But you did martial arts too.
Love martial arts. That's my first love. I've always said that it's nothing better than moving around, and I mean that's better than any possible drug you can ever take. Not that I took all the drugs or anything. No, but no. My first love is martial arts. I started that in Fresno when I was 7 years old, and it's still my first love to this day.
Well, that's good as far as all types of flexibility, flex, and that's where you got your name.
Right. Dual meaning from flexibility and flex. But what I think it gave me most is just a discipline, because it's an individual thing. Martial arts to push yourself better. And same thing with bodybuilding. You can be training with everyone else, but it's an individual, personal thing that you have to have that drive.
It's funny that you say that, because you saw my ring. I teach wrestling out here. I wrestled for years, and I wasn't much into team sports, but I like the one-on-one, because you depend only on yourself to do what you have to do.
Yeah.
And as good as you are is as good as you're going to be. You've got to keep striving to do better and work harder, and it gives you discipline. You have injury, and you get sore, and you go back again, just like the gym.
Sure.
I've torn fingers off. I'm in the gym next day training, and it's just a matter of that. This is what we do,
right? Because
we're driven.
Right.
Did you find it difficult to gain size at first, or it just came on?
Yeah, no, I'm probably what you would call a ecto-meso, where I had the ability, obviously, to put on muscle, but I was super skinny. I mean, when I graduated out of high school, I was barely 5'5" and didn't even weigh over 100 pounds. I remember my buddies benching 110. I used to mentally laugh about it, because I'm like, I don't even weigh that much.
Yeah.
So I was more or less kind of a late bloomer. Everybody had kind of got to their goals and the weight and size and everything. I was always kind of a late bloomer in everything that I did. Even in bodybuilding, I ran up against guys who were better than me my whole career, and then when I finally made it, then I was explosive, but I always was just 1 inch away from
just as long as you bloom. I don't want to discount Ahmed, because he's sitting here with us looking like, okay, what can I say? How did you two meet?
I actually met him through Stan Efroning.
Yeah.
Like I first got to Stan Efroning, and I talked to him first, and then I didn't know that he was actually like a partner with Stan. So he introduced me to him, and Richard started talking to Stan, and then we got to Flex Wheeler, and we also got with the idea of having also Flex on the board with WFN, and that was a great idea. We spoke to him, and he actually liked the idea, and that's how we started.
Okay, so explain they know what we're talking about, WFN, and how Flex is involved with that, so people will know what we're talking about. The WFN, Wellness Fitness Nutrition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, like, I mean, pretty much it's like him, like, being just like a spoken person.
Yeah.
And it's great to have like great athlete with
Absolutely.
a history like Flex Wheeler to represent WFN.
Right.
So I mean, I was amazed.
Right.
You know, I was amazed. I was like, wow, we're gonna have Flex Wheeler on board.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well,
So-
that brings a lot to the face of the company.
yeah.
You know, someone like him who's well spoken.
Just to use his name is just huge, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna use your name, by the way. At dinner, I get reservations.
Yeah, I was like, I never thought that I would be actually 6 foot, like close to him. But the fact that I'm 2 inches, like right now, close to him, that's like, I was like,
Thank
wow.
you.
Yeah, no,
Man, thank you very much.
Yeah.
No, he's a wonderful guy. Did we meet before? You mentioned it.
You know, I think we did. I mean, your face is familiar, how you were joking before, but your face is familiar. Obviously, your name precedes you because I know who you were and everything and with some of your achievements. And everybody I met, even my old training partner, when I was showing him I was coming over, he goes, "Oh man, yeah, you know who he is. He knows who you are." So yeah, definitely.
My face looks familiar every day when I get up and look in the mirror. I know that guy from somewhere. He made it through the night.
It's the body I don't recognize.
No, the body. I think I got my neighbor's body. She must have stayed over here and switched bodies with me. You're training for the Olympia. You won several places in Olympia.
Yeah, I placed 3rd place in Olympia 3 times, and then I think I placed 5th once after my car accident. Right.
Yeah. How do you feel about the judging of something like that? Do you think it's a little bit over here and over there?
If you don't mind me asking, like in 1998, like I remember like seeing that when you went crazy, like when he was like, I'm number 1.
Right.
Like I remember that. That was like, well, how, like, what was like your feeling and what like
when I got upset and I took the off. Yeah, that was 99. And you know what? 98. You know, I don't want to be too long-winded about it, but I've always been the type of guy that I didn't truly believe that I was ever going to be number 1. You know, I'm wired differently. I'm not a pessimist or the opposite. I'm more or less a realist. I realize that it can happen or it may not happen. What's different about me, it doesn't stop me from going balls out to try to make it happen, but I'm not going to sit there and think, you know, I'm going to be the next champ. I know a lot of people really believe that as athletes. Hey, I'm going to be number 1. I just never was wired that way. So when I competed in like the Ironman and the Arnold Classic, I've always believed, yes, if I'm in shape, I'm going to win. It's no problem.
Yeah.
But the Olympia, I never did. So in 98, I wasn't too surprised because I actually, as I wrote and talked about many times, I got angry at myself before prejudging because I'm sitting there in a room with some other guys and they're talking about how they're going to win and this and that. And I'm like, wow, what makes them so different than me that they can even think that they're going to win? And here I am. I'm always thinking, you know, you're going to be number 2.
Yeah.
You know, try to hold everybody else off. But I knew it was too late, and I went in and I did the best I can, and obviously Ronnie won. But 99, I was about my game. I was 100% on, and I actually put on 16 pounds of muscle and came in better shape. So I'm like, okay, the guy beat me by 1 point. I closed that gap.
Oh, yeah.
And when we got on stage and everything, you know, a lot of people back that I was competing was like, wow, it's over, what you're done with. So I really felt that I'd done everything necessary, and it ended up that he beat me by a perfect score that year. So I couldn't understand that. But what I did finally understand is that whatever I believe myself to be is what I am. I believe myself to be number 1. So when they put the awards around me that symbolize number 2, it just dawned on me like, no, I'm not number 2. I'm number 1.
Yeah.
So just because you think I'm number 2, don't make me think that I'm going to be a loser. No, this means number 2. I'm number 1. That's a wrap. So I'm sure you guys been at shows or competitions or wherever where somebody's awarded the wrong placement.
All the time.
So say they're awarded 2nd place and they're all upset. And then next thing you know, like, oh, we made a mistake. You're number 2. And all like, oh, happy. Nothing changed.
Yeah.
You're still that person. So why allow that to weigh you down? So I was like, no, I get it now. I'm number 1. I'm not going to feel like I lost. I won. And these are number 2. I'm number 1. And I shook Ronnie's hand. We're great plans. And I say, hey, bro, you know, congratulations. I love you. You know, you know that I'm not. Well, I said, yeah. I said, you know, I'm not coming to your party, right? He goes, oh, no, man. So that's what that was all about.
Yeah, well, if you're 1, 2, or 3, you're still a winner. I mean, even up to 10, you're still a winner. You're up on stage. You look great. You won something, right?
You know what? I mean, it's great to look at that when you're retired. But me and the way I was wired, no, I've always believed that there's number 1 and everybody else lose. You're a loser.
Yeah.
So even being, you know, number 2 in the world, and you have to understand when you're in the heat of it, you're trying to get there and you're living in a moment. So I was always wired, no, there's number 1 and then there's everybody else lost.
Yeah.
because you don't really go to take two, you go to take
You go
one.
to win, of course.
So that was my way of wiring myself. But to get to your answer, yeah, I think the judging is different, definitely. You know, I'm not going to make any excuses. I'm sure it's a hard job, but I would probably never want to be a judge. I don't ever want to be one. It's a lot of heat. But I have different opinions about what happens in a sport, and it's a very subjective sport. So
how did you train as far as your? Because people ask, you know, what kind of training do you do? Heavy, light? How many sets of body part? How many days a week on each body part? Because we all do something different.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you space that out? What was your routine at the time?
You know what? My mental was always different than most people. What I understood is say if we're training together, and you know, just so we don't get caught up in numbers, say he's lifting, you know, 1 billion pounds. That way people aren't trying like, oh, is that all you lift?
Yeah.
Say he's lifting 1 million pounds and he's squatting, and I'm lifting just 500.
Yeah.
And he feels great. He's just jumping around and all enthusiastic, and this 500 is just crushing me.
Yeah.
It's not the number, it's the weight.
Yeah.
It's how much your body is putting forth as far as energy. And the next day, say I come back and I'm squatting 1 million pounds,
yeah.
and, you know, and I'm just having a great day and everything. Like it's what the body understands. The body doesn't understand numbers. It just understands how much energy did it have to put forth to achieve that goal. That's all the body gets. It doesn't get that. So when people write down numbers and everything, the body doesn't know that. It just knows whether it worked hard or not.
Right.
So a lot of times, if you're training with another person and they think they killed you in a workout and they feel great, and you know the other person's laying on the floor and they can barely breathe, who do you think got the better workout?
Yeah.
The guy on the floor. But the guy standing is chanting and think he really done something. I always understood that. No, if you can whoop my ass, then I won. I worked harder than you and everything. The number didn't really matter. My body is exhausted based on the weight, and based on the effort that I had to put forth.
You can be exhausted with 20 pounds if it's hard.
Yeah, definitely. So my analogy is always maximum output at all times.
Okay.
So whether I came in and I squatted 500 one day and I was puking and throwing up, or whether I came in and squatted 200 and I was damn near about to pass out. Maximum output at all times.
And
that was all mine.
How was your diet?
You know, my diet, I mean, I'm somewhat of a genetic freak, and it's in writing with the one study that Baco Laboratories and some scientists in Colorado did on me with the myostatin thing. So, you know, I can get away with eating a lot of food, but my diet was more so clean. What I actually did is to kind of be honest, I kind of always lied and said I cheated more than I actually did because I wanted to throw people off. So, see, if I've been dieting my ass off and I go to a place and I know it's going to be public, I wouldn't eat diet food. I would eat hamburger. So everybody would really think, oh man, you eat like this? I'm like, yeah, I do. And there's even been times where, you know, I've been with Dennis James or Dexter Jackson and we're competing, you know, in some other country, and everybody, we'd go to a place to eat and I'd order a hamburger.
Yeah.
Well, I'm used to going on and off, so my body's used to that. Unlike if you've been dieting for 3 months straight and you've been eating including food, and then you eat something dirty, it's going to really have an adverse effect for you. So I remember we did that one time. I think we're in Budapest. So everybody's like, oh, Flex eating hamburgers. I'm gonna eat ham. So I looked great on stage, and everybody was waterlogged because the sodium really messed them up. So, but I tried to diet as good as I can. But I also understand that we all have our strengths and our weaknesses. Maybe somebody's really dedicated to diet, to do everything else, where their hindrance might be their physique or their ability to grow. Right. So I always understand that there's a yin and a yang. If you're given a great strength in some way, you're going to be hindered on the other way. It doesn't matter. That's always.
You remember Aaron Baker?
Oh, of course I do.
Aaron's a good friend of mine. We'd go to eat, and he'd always get a hamburger, fries, and a shake.
Yeah.
And he was wrestling. I'd wrestled matches with him.
I know he was a freak of nature.
How
wasn't
do you
he?
do
An
that?
athlete.
Yeah, and he would I like to eat like this, and it just put on more muscle. That's
I wish I can do that.
Yeah, I know. We always do that.
Yeah,
we always do that. Explain to me real quick, myostatin.
The myostatin, you know, it's something that I wasn't competing one year, and Victor Baco, which we all know him from Baco Laboratories, that went to the IFBB and they asked if they can test all the subjects out there. I wasn't at that show, so he paid for all their SMAC panel and everything all done and all that stuff. And he was doing some study on his myostatin gene or whatever. And he contacted me later and said, hey Flex, you know, I spent about a couple of $1,000s doing tests on everybody, just kind of doing some background data. We like to do some on you, you know, see about extreme responders is what they called it. So I said, yeah, you know, they ran the tests on me and everything, and I asked them who was the most extreme responders. Was it Ronnie? And he goes, no, you know, honestly, it was actually you. And I go, you know, riddle me that. I don't get it. He goes, well, everyone almost had a twin, no matter what it was, had a twin on their, whatever, their panel, whatever. Yeah. He goes, you're the only one who didn't have a twin, and even more so, your IGF level was off the charts, where you actually have more muscle strands per fiber than anyone else that we tested throughout the whole entire list of all super athletes. That's what we call it. And later on, I remember getting contact by some scientists or some type of convention, and I think it was Colorado, where they asked if they can use that study to talk to other scientists about
very
it.
interesting.
So,
I had no idea. That's very interesting.
If you Google it up, it all comes on my whole list of all that stuff. I don't really get it, I mean, for me it's like, okay, well, I've always thought I was somewhat of a freak, so
it's kind of deep.
Yeah, it is, but I mean, it's all right. Yeah.
How's your training now?
Now I kind of do more like a HIIT type training. I'll be 50 August 23rd. So for me to be big, I don't really care about that anymore.
I'll get him a birthday gift.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, well, I will. I didn't know, man.
I'll say it off the camera what it is. No, so
I can't afford it.
So I don't train hard anymore. I've had a lot of injuries. I've torn both my rotator cuffs and had some serious back surgeries from all the heavy pounding and stuff I've done when I'm younger. So now I'm smarter. I don't really care about being big. I just want to be really healthy. I want to be fit. I want to carry a low amount of body fat, because obviously as we get older, that's one of our greatest hindrances and stuff like that. And just more or less just be here to be active with my kids and stuff like that.
It's funny you say that.
Sport.
I just had lunch. I ran into a woman I haven't seen in quite a while. She's a little bit off center anyway. And she wanted me to train her husband years ago, and he just couldn't handle anything. Oh, hi, Rick. How are you? She says, do you still go to the gym? Are you still working out? Duh. You can't tell? I mean, yeah, I am. I'm probably the best shape I've been in a long time.
Take the shirt off, man.
People don't know what they see.
Right.
They see this, and then they say, oh, you lost weight, you gained weight, you grew hair, you lost hair. I've gotten to the point, no, I'm fine, I'm in good shape, I'm going to sit down.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate putting that to me like that.
Yeah.
It's just really
I think people have an image of of your best ever. Because people always say, Flex, will you ever come back and pee? I'm like, I don't know, I hate it. I would never do that. I don't even have an inkling in me. I go, but no matter what, me and Ronnie got into a big argument one year. He was like, Flex, let's come back, let's do it one more time. I go, fuck you, Ronnie, it's not going to happen. He goes, come on. So Dorian was there and some other guys, and I'm like, Ronnie, you really do that? I'm like, there's nothing left in me. There's not even an inkling of training like that. And he goes, what if I was to give you $1 million? I go, no, it wouldn't work. He goes, honestly. And Dorian said, you wouldn't do it for $1 million. If we all got $1 million together, I go, fuck no. I go, I use it on a psychiatrist after it's all over with.
Right.
Because all the ridicule that I would take on the internet and everything, I would be beat to hell. I'd end up spending that money trying to get mentally back healthy, because people have an image of me burned in their minds when I was at my best.
Yeah.
And no matter what I would look like, I'm not going to never be that guy. So to them, I failed. I go, so the money would be gone and everything would be gone. So no, I never think about it.
There's so many wrestlers who should have retired 10, 15 years ago, and they're still in the ring looking bad.
Right.
Someone said to me, what's your greatest desire? I said, just one more match and one more good orgasm. No, forget the match.
Yeah.
But you can't duplicate what you've already done. Something it's just too hard.
Like we were talking off camera, I was saying, I think athletes are born, and I think one of the hardest things for a true athlete that has achieved a great status is to walk away from their sport. Not really it's a good, bad thing, and the names I'm going to mention, it's not a put down because they're legends in their sport, but you look at all the great Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, they all try to come back because, you've done it for over half your life. You don't know anything other than that competition.
Right.
So it's really hard to work away from that. And probably if I didn't get so sick and go through all the horrific surgeries that literally beat that out of me, that had me more or less focused on being here, period, than the sport, I would have probably been one of those guys trying to come back before. But after my kidney transplant, I had 9 surgeries in 11 weeks that I almost died from. So after each surgery of being here, finally I was like, you know what, I just want to be here. I can't give a damn
How many kidneys do you have?
I have one.
Me too.
I have one, yeah.
Between us, we have 2.
Yeah, there he is. I'm part Filipino. The girl gave me kidney. She's Filipino, so
darn.
Yeah, I'm mixed breed now.
Just eat a lot of kidney beans, I think.
Yeah.
How do you feel about WFN running into them and being part of
it? It's really interesting because it's on record. If you go on YouTube and you Google me, it's on record that I've always had to use hormone cycling when I retired. Back in
2003.
Yeah, I think it was 2003 when actually it's when I started. But before then, it was my ex-wife who noticed that I guess I wasn't active anymore. Like I used to be when I was competing, and she just jokingly said one time to me, I think it was right around 2002 or so, 2003, that, are you okay? And I'm like, what do you mean I'm okay? She just, are you okay? And I'm like, What do you mean? Yeah, I'm okay. She goes, I said, why? She goes, well, you're just kind of not like you used to. What do you mean by that? And she brought it to my attention.
Of course.
I go, damn. And it dawned on me, like, yeah, I haven't even thought about that in a while. From, you know, being super active before. And so I went and ran tests, and a doctor laughed. He goes, wow, your level's down to 79. He goes, actually, your wife and your son's hormones, you know, higher than yours, and he's just a baby.
Actually going through a sex change, you didn't know it.
And I was like, you know what, doc, I'm good, you know, it doesn't bother me. I don't want to stick myself. That was one of my greatest dreams, is when I was done not to have to stick myself anymore. And he's just like, well, Flex, you know, there's other, you know, ramifications of not having a high testosterone for a man, as far as, you know, bone density, you know, maturity of that, also being depressed and stuff like that. He goes, there's things that you don't want to run into, even though you haven't yet, you don't want to run into. So it was almost like insult to injury that now I had to do that, you know, for the rest of my life, when I did it as a competitor. So now I'm getting with a company that can actually administer those things for when you need that help, as far as a prescription or not. It's like a match made in heaven. So, you know, now I can be more public about it, where before I've done things and I've talked to people about it, but it was always on a low key or something like that. So it's great. And, you know, it's interesting is that it's a known fact that it's going to happen. For women, for hundreds and hundreds of decades, women always knew about menopause.
Always.
You know, but there's the same action for men that we never knew about it. And for us men, we didn't talk about things like that. You know, we don't hold hands and go to the bathroom. How are you doing? You know, we don't do that. So now that it's more public, and they've done all these low T commercials, you know, companies like this now, it brings us to the awareness and help men to understand that, no, this is a natural phenomenon that happens at a certain age in our life, some less and some more. And there's help out there for you.
I've done this for years. And I've discussed it for years. Women go through an estrogen replacement because their body changes. Men should do the same.
Yeah.
Why is it okay for them and not for us?
Right.
Because we're having that low periods as well.
Right.
Sure, your desire isn't the same because things are dropping, things are changing. You'll walk more slump, your body's atrophying. Let's change it around. And with Ahmed and Dr. Rodriguez, they can do this.
Right.
And I am so blessed that I met these people, and this company is what it is. And I refer them all the time because they're only trying to do good.
Right.
It's trying to do good. And these people on YouTube will want to say things, and you know, you always get those haters, but because they don't know any better. They don't know any better. But I'll swear by it, I know you do too. This is a good company. They're reliable, they're quick, they meet your needs, and answer your questions. They just want to see you better at what you do. And I'm all for it.
At the end of the day, they're actually saving men's lives from what they're doing, because I would wonder, we don't have the data, because no one cares to do that type of data, but I wonder how many men have try to commit suicide or try to kill themselves not knowing that they're in a state of depression, or even just living a less lifestyle not knowing that there's something wrong. And again, as men, that's just not something that we normally would talk about. Man, you look great. What are you doing? No, we wouldn't say anything. How you feel? I feel great. Why are you asking? You know, that's a men's mentality, where women are always open about anything they're doing. So it's great that, you know, we have this ability to be able to do this publicly and legally.
And I'll tell you something else. You and I were talking about where we grew up, which are small towns, and we have friends there, and those friends there you can't even suggest to them to do something like that. I'll just grow old gracefully, and I'm almost dead anyways. What does it matter?
Yeah.
You know, I don't buy that. You can always improve your life at any age.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be 71 in July. When I'm 90, I'll still be feeling good. I'll still be going to the gym. I'll still be taking my medications, what I need to take. At 106, I'll be doing the same thing. Probably going out with somebody 20. No, whatever it takes. No, you just want to feel good. You want to get them feel good throughout the day.
Yeah. And the bad thing about it is, when you get used to something over years, you think it is the norm.
Yeah.
You know, and I think even more so as men, and even really more so as athletes, we're so used to enduring such things.
Yes.
So after a time of it happening over and over, we actually think that's normal, not knowing that no, there is a chemical reaction that's going on that's causing you to feel that way.
Yes.
And if you knew better and you found the resources to take care of that, you'd find that you would feel great and look great, and be able to be active in all the ways that you were before, not just sexually, just as a man, and being active, running around and stuff like that. And then, you know, not to mention your body feeling better, less body fat and stuff like that. So
and healing injuries.
That's our goal, like for our company. Like,
you have the poster boy with me. I'm full of them.
No, like for us, like we require a lot of blood work to see like what's the individual deficient in.
Yes.
So we can know like
that's how you know.
Exactly. So we know like the what we're gonna prescribe to him,
Right.
and know our prescription like protocol.
Right.
So that's what we require for the individual to do. It's not that we just give products away to make money.
That's right.
No, we don't do that.
And I want to say something. All you guys out there that do this kind of stuff, you take what your gym buddy tells you or this guy tells you.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
can't take the same medicine as somebody else. Doctors don't give everybody the same medicine because you have different problems with you, you have different lows. And you need to be tested to know what you're low in, because you might take the wrong thing, you'll get no results. You say, oh, this doesn't work. Right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
need
we
to
have that a
know.
lot.
You
Yeah.
need to know where you are, and the blood test will tell you everything about you.
Exactly.
And then some maybe you don't want to know.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to do that, and this is what you guys do.
It is what it is. Whether they want to know the truth or not, it's
Yeah.
still going on, and it's best for them to know, regardless, and find out something about it.
I mean, we don't know our expiration date.
No one
I
does.
sent away for it, never came back.
No one does. I made a decision when I found out I had this rare kidney disease, and it just really beat me down. I was at the top of my game and everything. It was one of the hardest things to accept. But finally, after years of battling, I said, you know what? I'm not gonna sit and wait for it to happen. It's gonna have to catch me. I'm not gonna be laying in bed and just withering away and thinking, it was me.
No.
It's like, no, if it's gonna have to catch me living, because I'm not gonna sit. And
No,
wait for
you
it
and
to
I both
happen.
have had parents that are elderly, and I've had other friends, and they go into retirement homes, and they sit there and they just sit all day. And I don't want to end up there.
No.
Don't want to end up there. I'm going to take care of myself now, and all of you should take care of yourself now. Even though you're 20 years old, it comes up quick on you. And then
does.
before you know it, you're there, and you say, oh my God, what did I do? I didn't take care of myself.
Right.
So it's very important.
Yeah, it is.
What's your future plans before we close?
Right now, I have a couple of companies I'm involved in. Me and Stan have our company that we just launched a cooler.
What a great guy, by the way.
Yeah, Stan, incredible. Yeah, what a specimen he is on all aspects, as business, as a person, and everything. So we have the cooler that we just released, and that's going market globally. I'm also partnering a global nutrition company called Mix that's all the other countries. Wasn't interested in coming to the United States when I came on board as one of the owners. Me and Stan talked, and we're actually going to launch the company here at the end of the summer. So kind of a jack of all trades and a master of many.
Maybe you guys can come back on and talk about it.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to. Love to anytime.
Well, we have a guest in the audience who says he's not just dressed up today, but I'd like to bring him on for the close anyway, just to say hello.
Yeah. Excuse his dress, his shirt, and everything. He dresses better than this. Trust
Just
me.
come back here. This is Dr. Richard Rodriguez, who is the master of WFN. He's a very, very smart man. I'm so glad that I met him. I have a very high regard for his intelligence. He's a great person. He just doesn't text me back sometimes when I want to. And I'm waiting on tooth and nail saying, where's the text? The sun comes up, the sun goes down, and still no text, so I actually laid down. But it's really nice to have you here. I'm glad you brought these gentlemen over.
Sure.
Is there anything you'd like to add before we say goodbye to all of our fans?
I think that all we could add is that we're a company here that is focusing on enhancing your lifestyle. You don't have to walk around depressed. You don't have to walk around accepting who you are. If you think there's something wrong with you, like maybe physically, energy-wise, testosterone-wise, sex drive, give us a call. We're here to actually help you out. That's our number one goal.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching Rick's Corner. We'll be back with more, and we'll see you next time. Thank you both for being here, all three of you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you very much.
It was a real pleasure.
Pleasure, man.
Richard, don't leave. We got to say goodbye. We got to wave goodbye.
I'm trying, man.
Wave goodbye. All right, so we'll see you next time, and thanks again.
It's RickDrasin.com. He is the equalizer, baby. See you next time.